On this episode of Makeup Effects Tech, we're going to do a sloughing skin technique that's reminiscent of the zombies from the Dawn of the Dead remake. Be careful, your safety is important. Today's Makeup Effects Tech is brought to you by friendsbeautysupply.com. If you're using a prosthetic for your application, you're going to need some Pros-Aid prosthetic adhesive. We're also going to be using a palette of multiple colors of rubber mask grease paint. To detail the makeup, we're going to be using alcohol palettes with alcohol. It's important to have application brushes of varying sizes. To create the sloughing skin technique, you're going to need a small microwavable container with water, some basic cake makeup, and 300 balloon prosthetic gelatin, or just plain old Knox gelatin will do. Lastly, you're going to need some petroleum jelly and balloon rubber latex. This is an advanced tutorial, so we're not going to walk you through the basics of applying a prosthetic. Makeup Effects Tech has other videos that will take you through that process. We'll start by basing the appliance with rubber mask grease paints in a basic skin tone. Predominance of this makeup is going to be done with 4 RMG colors: yellow, reddish purple, a reddish brown, and a black brown. You'll start painting by adding the dark accents to the face. Look around online and get yourself some good zombie makeup reference. You're going to want to put darks around the eyes, in the wounds, around the cheeks and the forehead, around the mouth, the lower jawline, and even the neck. Notice how the makeup is being applied not in solid brush strokes, but in circular motions. You want it to look broken up. The more solid the color looks, the less natural. At this point, if it looks kind of splotchy and weird, that's okay. A blotchy gross yellow is sporadically applied over the entire face. This adds more color and breakup to the overall application. Microwave your container of water till just about boiling. Then add 1.5 dram cups of gelatin, or a few tablespoons. You're going to want to stir the mixture until most of the gelatin particles have dissolved. Color the gelatin by adding some flocking or scraping some cake makeup into the mixture. Here we're using a sickly yellow that goes along with the color scheme of our zombie. Mix the gelatin thoroughly, and then try some on your hand before applying it to your model's face. Brush a solid layer of gelatin over the entire face. You can use multiple layers of gelatin. As it builds up, it hides the seam of your prosthetic and creates a great slimy texture. Remember to let this set up before moving on to the next step. We're going in with more purples and browns to accent some of the texture created by the gelatin. These rubber mask grease colors are also used to create a general splotchiness over the entire face and subtle veining in areas where you want there to be other details. Realism is achieved by overlapping many different layers of color. Using a larger brush, coat the entire face with a liberal amount of petroleum jelly. The petroleum jelly is going to act as a release, keeping the latex from holding on to the gelatin underneath it. Using a brush or makeup sponge, begin to lightly tap the balloon latex all over your model's face. You're building up a latex skin by tapping on multiple thin coats, letting them dry between applications. You can use a hairdryer to help dry the layers of latex. Once the latex is dry, you can use your hands to start sloughing it off the face. It's not an exact science, you just want to rub and peel the skin wherever it looks cool. Sometimes it takes a little bit of effort to get the skin to peel off the face. Don't be afraid to get in there and really work the makeup. With alcohol makeup and rubber mask grease paint, we're going to go in and add the last few little details. A light reddish brown is added to all the holes that were created by pulling the skin from the face. With reddish purples and blacks, the areas around the eyes and the mouth are darkened. Even in areas that are dark, it's important to layer the colors. You don't want to just slam a bunch of black around the eyes and make your zombie look like a raccoon. Dark black browns that look like aged, clotted blood are added around the wounds, the mouth, and coming out of the nose. For an optional and added effect, we mixed up a batch of black food coloring and water. Have your model dry their teeth and then swish it around in their mouth. And that's it, a decayed zombie with sloughing skin. This technique can be used for exposure makeups and other monsters. Experiment with it and have fun. Thanks again to friendsbeautysupply.com. For all your makeup and special effects supply needs, friendsbeautysupply.com. Thanks for watching, and please join us at makeupeffectstech.com. We're constantly updating with news, reviews, and tutorials from the world of makeup and special effects.